Well, thank you so much, and welcome to the Health and Wellness Show here only on COARadio.com. Welcome this evening. This show is going to be a good show with lots of special announcements, sing-alongs, all kinds of things.
Hooray!
Yeah, and so tonight we have our musical director, Ryche Chlanda.
Yay, Ryche!
Hey! Hey, everybody, how's it going?
We've been putting up with your shenanigans before the show.
My shenanigans.
Well,
We did a little test of the sing-along song, and it sounds wonderful, so we're going to have some fun today.
well, that'll be a good thing.
Yep.
And we do. And then we have our engineer, who's our engineer of everything, Mr. Art Ackerman.
Art!
Good morning.
You know, you're like Mr. Wilson. Remember
am
Mr.
like Mr.
Wilson?
Wilson.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't
right.
like to be on camera, but we hear you.
I can't. Somebody has to be behind the scenes.
Well, or else we have to get a white fence across
in front of him,
It's just like
I need another. I need one more camera, like right there. Right?
I don't know if you'd go on camera, would you?
He would.
He
Not
would.
If not if I could help it.
In a heart. Yo, come on.
Well, we are here because it is that time of the month again to talk
Yes.
about health and wellness.
Yep.
But before we do that, I'd like to take a moment to thank some of our sponsors, and thank you so much for being sponsors. Our first one is Neo Zoe Health and Wellness Center in Cranford, New Jersey.
Hey.
They're creating new life through balanced living using nutrition, massage, and so much more. We also have our very own Ryche Chlanda and Flying Dreams. And for those of you who don't know who Ryche Chlanda and Flying Dreams, they're a progressive rock band featuring world-renowned musicians, Ryche Chlanda himself,
Hello.
Ron Beanstalk, Kendall Scott, and Jay Didymo. So we're very excited about that.
Yep.
And also our next sponsor is the Recovery Spot New York.
Jay.
Yes, absolutely. We're innovating recovery with cutting-edge addiction treatment and outpatient recovery for drugs and alcohol, offering state-of-the-art medical approaches combined with personal treatment. They are physician-owned and operated. I think one of the only physician-owned and operated recovery center, and the Recovery Spot offering new hope of recovery for those suffering from pain and addiction. And last but not least, we have our very own Lifeline Chiropractic. Of Cranford, New Jersey. And as they state, your health is your most valuable possession. It's totally up to you to maintain and care for your body and your health.
Yes.
Chiropractic is the best head start you can give your body to a long and healthy life. So thank you so much for the shout out for Lifeline Chiropractic of Cranford, New Jersey. And last but not least, City of Angels. So much, and thank you for having our show. And they are conquering our addictions. If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, help is available. All you have to do is call 609-910-4942, and help is only a phone call away. And since City of Angels solely works on donations, if you'd like to make a donation, you can visit their website at www.cityofangelsnj.org. Click the donation tab, enter any denomination, and in the special instructions, put your donation for the Health and Wellness Show, and we'll make you an official sponsor of the show for 30 days. So please go to cityofangelsnj.org. So thank you so much to all of our sponsors. So excited.
Nice, very nice.
And before we get to our special guest, we also have another announcement. And our very own Ryche Chlanda.
Hello.
So
you don't have to
excited.
clap. No, please. Don't. Please. No.
You love it.
No, please, no.
And you know you do. But our very own Ryche Chlanda,
Yes.
1 week ago,
Oh.
right, you had a very special event.
Yes, he did.
Yes, you did. Would you like to share that event?
You could share it for me.
I can?
Yes.
Oh, God, I'm so excited. Well, we traveled up to our friend Ron Beanstalk of Scarsini Hollaback, right?
Yes.
Esquires. And in there, Richie had signed a management contract with ACR Management. So you've been picked up by management,
Yeah. Very nice.
which
Yeah.
means there are shows coming up. And
Lots of shows.
would you like to tell us about one of them?
September 4th, I'll be doing an acoustic unplugged show at Roxy and Duke's for the Progressive series at the Prague House as a supporting gig for a band, a Norwegian band, great instrumental Norwegian band named pixie ninja.
You had to think about that, didn't you?
I think so did they, you know. But yes. So that's actually my first acoustic show.
Yay.
Doing that. So that's the startup for
So
that.
that's gonna be great.
Yep, that's going to be great. Thank you for mentioning that.
Thank you so
Yep.
much. And it's Ann Rinaldi, who is ACR Management. So thank you
Yes.
so much
Thanks, Ann.
for making it all happen, and to Ronald Beanstalk for overseeing everything.
Thank you, Ron.
So thank you so much. So I thought he'd get that. But we are all gathered here today, right? Not only.
Don't be so formal, Mary.
Well, I have to for our very special guest. She's a chiropractor and owner of Lifeline Chiropractic
Yes.
in Cranford, New Jersey. Webster certified, we'll find out what that means. Member of the Gonstead Clinical Society,
Wow.
Study Society, excuse me. Member of the International Chiropractic Pediatric Association. And here, explaining the purpose of chiropractic, what adjustments are, and how they may benefit you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome our special guest, Dr. Carol Iaizzi.
Oh!
Hey, thank you for having me.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Exciting.
And she made my life easy. She's told me from here on in I could call you Dr. Carol.
Absolutely.
Oh, gosh.
Nobody knows my last name.
Well, that's good. I could wipe the sweat off my brow. I have been practicing that in front of a mirror like you wouldn't believe. So
Nice.
thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for becoming a sponsor of the Health and Wellness
Yes,
Show.
of
Oh, yeah.
course.
Thank you
You
so
know,
much.
and
Yeah,
helping
sponsor.
City of Angels. So
Yeah.
thank you so
Of
much for that.
course.
And, well,
Awesome.
Awesome.
Dr. Carol and I spoke before the show because we do those things, you know? And one thing that you said to me during the interview was chiropractic is not a profession, but a lifestyle.
That's true.
Can you explain to our listeners what you meant by that? Because I thought it was fascinating.
Yes. When you have a profession, if you're a radio host or a nurse or a chef or whatever it is, you do your job, and most times you leave the job where you work, and then you go home, and then you check into being a mom or a wife or whatever it is. When you're a chiropractor, first of all, we never feel like we work because we love what we do.
Right.
It's just part of who we are. We go to the office, and what we do at the office carries over into what we do at home. I speak to my patients the same way I speak to my family. I give the same recommendations to my patients that I do to my family. We're always in the process of trying to better our bodies, honor our bodies, respect the power of our bodies. The same things we talk about in the office, we talk about at home. So there isn't a place in my life where chiropractic doesn't flow through it in one way or another, because it's just who I am and not so much what I do. And in the field, we say many are called, but few are chosen. And
That's true.
Like, if you're truly a principled chiropractor, you just can't turn it off. So you never leave the job.
Well, and that's interesting that you say that, because in my observations of speaking with people in your profession, there's usually a personal journey that chose them to be a chiropractor.
Right.
Did that happen to you?
It absolutely did.
Do you mind sharing that story?
No,
of
I
what
don't mind.
inspired
I don't
you?
mind at all. So when you're in high school, you have to make a decision about what college to go to because you want to grow up to be X.
Right.
So my ex was writer, author, something like that. And then I started working for a chiropractor because I needed money to put gas in the car. I was 16 years old, and he started adjusting me. And when he started working on me, my life changed. I had suffered with seizures and epileptic issues my whole life, and the medical answer for me and my family was phenobarbital or exploratory brain
Right.
surgery. So my mom, who was a nurse, said, no, that's not happening. So we just kind of dealt with it. I'm sorry. We dealt with it.
That's fine.
We just kind of dealt with it. And when he started working on me, and he was just a regular chiropractor, nothing special, my seizures went from maybe 3 or 4 a week to hardly ever.
Oh, wow.
Maybe one every 6 months. And I just felt so called to this. It was not I did not want to do this. I wanted so much to be literary. But seeing the miracles that happen there every day, I just felt called to it. And once I got into school, he took me about 85% of the way home. And then learning different ways to do what he did took me all the way. And I don't have it anymore.
That's why that was going to be my next
Yeah.
question. So
I don't have it.
and
That is
how long
amazing.
would you
Yeah.
say it is amazing? And how long would you say? Do you remember how long that process was from like the first time you had a chiropractor adjustment to, being healed on your journey? Was it a long duration?
There was an instant change.
Oh, really?
The frequency changed really pretty quickly within a few adjustments. I was always that kid who was sick on antibiotics my whole life. I was a breech birth, so when I was born, I kind of got hung up
Yeah.
on my mom, and it messed up the alignment in the top two bones in my spine, which is where your spinal cord comes through, and especially the brainstem, which
Right.
is in control of balance. And there was so much pressure on my brainstem that my body, I couldn't fight anything off. I knew my favorite cough syrup, the flavor was grape. I'll never forget it.
Right.
Antibiotic cough syrup, because I had it so much in my
much.
life. And once he started working on me, everything just
It changed. It changed your life.
It just changed.
So it's been your whole life then. This is you.
Yeah, this
Your
is
whole life.
I've dealt with sickness, very slow, poor constitution to fight anything, and seizures and
Wow.
dizziness and never feeling grounded my whole life until I found chiropractic.
And I know that with the dizziness and all, and I am going to talk about that because I did go through that, and I know a lot of people that do.
Right.
And when you go to the medical profession, which they should go to, so they get a diagnosis, so they know,
Right,
if it's
right.
something. But they'll say, "Oh, we could give you a medication to help you with that
Right,
dizziness."
right.
And I see this time and time again, and I am a believer in chiropractic. I actually,
Yay.
yes, I get adjusted all the time.
Awesome.
Because I had a situation with my neck, and it was
Uh-huh.
after a surgery,
Uh-huh.
and somebody was like, some of the doctors were saying, "Oh, let's do something with your vertebrae. Let's do something." And my gut said, "I'm not
See?
going to do this."
Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
And I see people a lot that suffer, and in your practice, I'm sure
Yeah.
you see it, where people are like, "I'm dizzy," or I get that. Some people will say, "I feel like my head is detached from my
Right.
body," feeling.
Yes.
And I'll say, "Well, did you ever try chiropractic?"
Right.
And some people are very open to it, and
Right.
some people are not, which we'll get into.
Right.
But just know that there's hope out there, and it helped you.
Right.
I know that if I'm dizzy or I have a really bad headache, a chiropractic adjustment is almost instant.
Yes.
And to see that and to feel that, I can't explain that enough to people unless you've gone through it and
Right.
understand it.
Right.
But I feel like chiropractic is a very big necessity in people's lives,
I don't know how people live without chiropractic.
It's great for preventative too.
Absolutely.
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 So we'll get into that. But you did mention already, you being a chiropractor, how it's carried over into your home and family.
Mm-hmm.
And you also had kids. And I know that your practice, from researching it, specializes in families and children
Yes.
and all. And how does that carry in your home? Like, what practices did you bring to your children when you were raising them through chiropractic?
Okay, so the kids were all adjusted from birth. They were born at home, first of all.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, all home births. And the youngest one was adjusted before the cord was even cut, because I'm a chiropractor. Her dad was a chiropractor. So we checked them all immediately. So in our house, not that I had anything against the medical profession,
Right.
we had no need because they got adjusted from birth. They're not vaccinated. They've never been sick to the point that an adjustment couldn't handle it or their body's own innate ability couldn't handle it. So I didn't do the well visits or anything like that because I could see they were growing and progressing and eating and doing great. So I just trusted their body, and we raised them as your body is your temple. So they're very pure kids and all extreme athletes. They're all in college now. I actually have two that are in chiropractic school.
Oh, so they're following the footsteps.
And
It's what we do, right?
yeah. And in our house, it was just what's the best natural way to grow and live. And they're all vegetarian because of that. And never had cow's milk, all, breastfed and born at home. And they're the weird ones.
But they're the healthy ones.
They're the healthy ones. And when they got into school and they started to see how all the other families live, it was like a rude awakening for them because this is our world. My sister is also a chiropractor, so all of her kids are raised the same way, my brothers as well. So in our little world, this was how it is. And when they got into school, they started to realize that they were the only ones who didn't eat meat. They were the only ones who went to mommy and got adjusted when they didn't feel good. They were the only ones who a lot of different things.
And how did they handle that with the peer pressure in school and being a little different, if you will, than what, it
They
seems
would
to be the norm?
come home and talk to me about it and ask questions, like one question I got, why are they eating hamburgers? What is a hamburger? So I was always just very honest with them. I said, it's a chopped up cow. And my daughter said to me, well, what did the cow do to them?
Aw,
Yeah.
innocence of a child.
Yeah, so that we just always answered very honestly, and they did come home with questions, and they made their own choices, and they were great.
Well, that's fantastic.
Healthy kids.
It really is.
Yeah.
So, for those people tuning in, you're listening to the Health and Wellness Show here on COARadio.com.
I wish I was raised that way.
Yes. And if you'd
I
like
do.
to call in
too.
and join the conversation, you could do so at 609-241-7103. He says he wished he was raised that way. He was raised on a farm.
Oh,
I was raised on
that's pretty
So
pure.
you kind of were.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all,
Doesn't mean he ate that way.
well, you had no choice. I still enjoy
Cheeseburgers.
no growing vegetables. I mean, I like grass and mud, and I love that kind of stuff because that's how I was raised
Yeah.
from a kid. You
Yeah.
know, so
He still has pear trees on his property, and he still eats them to this
I
day.
have pear trees, chestnut trees, apple trees,
Wow.
peach trees, and whatever I plant.
Hey, we have a caller.
All right.
So we do. So,
Yep.
good evening. Welcome to the Health and Wellness Show. You are live on the air. Who is this?
Hi, this is Debbie.
Hi, Debbie. How are you?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for calling into the show.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm so excited that Dr. Carol will be on your show this evening.
She's here. She's live on the air with me now, and I'm assuming you're calling in to talk to all of us, but especially to Dr. Carol.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Dr. Carol. How are you?
I'm great. This is one of my favorite ladies.
Aww.
She's been in the
Well,
office for a very long time.
I have. I have been coming to Dr. Carol, probably for about 15 years, and I just wanted to call in to say that she is the absolute best. I travel all the way from exit 105 to 137 just to see Dr. Carol because she's amazing.
105.
Aw.
That's the Asbury Park exit.
You're so sweet,
Yes.
Debbie.
And Dr. Carol is amazing. She has been so beneficial to my entire life. If it wasn't for Dr. Carol, I'd probably be unable to walk or under some sort of medical care where they would have, the doctor would have just, God only knows what they would have done to me. But Dr. Carol is the best.
Aw.
She has
Thank
hands
you.
of gold. I always tell her that. She's my angel.
Well,
So
let me
people should go to Dr. Carol because she's a miracle worker.
Thank you, Debbie.
Debbie, I have a question for you. When,
Sure.
when you were going through all your troubles, how did you find Dr. Carol, and were you already involved with chiropractic, or was Dr. Carol your first chiropractor, or how did that start?
No, actually, I found her husband because her ex-husband's office was across the street from my husband's office. So
That's right.
I was having some issues, and I decided to go to a chiropractor. And at the time, I was living in New Jersey, and her ex-husband's office was in Staten Island. And so her ex-husband said, Deb, you live in New Jersey, and Dr. Carol is a way better chiropractor than I am, so you should go to her in New Jersey.
That's a funny story.
It's a very funny story, but it's the truth. And I said, oh, really? Okay, I don't know. And because I'm really not a good patient.
No, she's
And
not.
so I said, all right, I'll try her. And he was absolutely right because she is way better than he is.
Thank you, Debbie.
That is funny.
That's a great phone call, Debbie. I got to tell you.
It
That's
is.
great.
So, listen, I just wanted, like I said, I just wanted to call in and just tell everybody how wonderful she is. because it really is the truth.
Well, Debbie, thank
So-
you so much for calling in and for doing so. Since Dr. Carol will probably see you before we will, I will give you a copy of my very own DVD, Extreme Chakra Cleansing for a Supercharged Life, just as a parting gift for calling into the show.
Well, thank you very much. I very much appreciate that.
You're very welcome, and I'm glad that you were able to find care with Dr. Carol. And I hear all terrific things as well. So thank you so much for calling in on the Health and Wellness Show.
Oh, you're very welcome. And you enjoy the rest of the evening.
You too. Thanks, Debbie.
Thanks,
Thank
Debbie.
you so much. Bye-bye.
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 What a nice phone call that is.
That is a
And-
great
and
phone
that's
call.
that's a testimonial for you.
And she just made our show go from PG to 1X. I'm just kidding with you. See the smirk on Art's face when I said that?
I'm saying nothing.
You're saying nothing. Okay. He's going to be quiet in his corner tonight.
Well,
Maybe it's the Wealth and Wellness show she meant to call into.
You make one mistake. I did that on the air one time, and I didn't realize that I said it, and I
Right.
have not lived it down.
Wealth
any
and
episode.
Wellness instead of health.
I said, "Welcome to the Wealth and Wellness Hour." It's like,
What the
and I'm
heck?
thinking, why are they all looking
I don't
at
know.
me funny?
It just struck me much better.
Yeah.
You're still on that though, which is really good. Well, see, stories like that I find fascinating about chiropractic.
Yeah.
And in your office, since you mentioned it, and coming from 105, I'm very familiar with Asbury Park because that is the exit, and because dealing with music and everything that we do.
Right.
So that is a hall, you know,
She travels quite a bit.
which is it's an extreme good compliment to you
It is.
and your services.
It is,
knowing
and I
that.
appreciate her and her family so much.
Well, speaking of what you do in your office, I know that you deal with families and mommies and all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
So can you go into, if somebody was to come into your office from listening to this show,
Okay.
coming into your office, what can they expect when they walk through the doors of Lifeline Chiropractic?
Okay, so you would come into our office, and the first person who would greet you would be Dawn.
I talked to her. She's great.
Yeah, she's my assistant. She's wonderful. And she would ask you to fill out some paperwork, a very short series of paperwork. And then you would come back into the inner part of the office where the adjusting rooms are. She would do a little bit of testing, some scale measurements, some postural analysis. All of that information would be loaded into the computer, and then you would be put into my intake room. I would come in, introduce myself. We would chat just like we're chatting now. I want to know all about you and what brought you here, and we get to know each other because chiropractic is a very personal thing. Other health professions, they never touch you. There's a barrier. It's behind a desk or across a desk. I'm next to you. I'm going to be touching you. Some people that come to me haven't been touched in years. They live alone. They don't have anyone in their life. So we get to know each other. We get comfortable with each other. And then I start just doing a series of exams and maybe an x-ray or whatever we need to do to get the analysis right so that you can get the best care that I can give you.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, is there any certain age groups that you take in, or?
It's from the cradle to the grave. You're never too old, never too young. My first youngest adjustment was my daughter. I told you she was adjusted before the cord was cut, and right now I have a lady who's 92, and
Oh,
everything in
fantastic.
between. My first second adjustment this morning was on a 6-week-old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing, is that I know a lot of people, because I'm a massage therapist, so
Right.
chiropractic kind of goes hand in hand with
Yeah.
this, right? So I hear a lot of people say when I recommend, like I say, I'm not a chiropractor. I'm a
Right.
massage therapist. You
Right.
know, this is the muscular system. You
Yeah.
need somebody to work with the skeletal system. That's not me,
Right.
right? And so they would look at me, and you could actually see a fear come over people,
Yeah.
all right? And they'll say, well, I don't want to get cracked. I don't want to get cracked.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt. And I said,
Right.
do you know what? If it's done correctly, I said, if there is any ounce of discomfort you had, it might last all of 10 seconds.
Right.
And I said, but the relief that you feel.
Yeah.
And they're like, but I don't want to get cracked. I'm so afraid of breaking a bone.
Yeah.
So for all of those people, which I used to be one of them.
Right.
Okay. Can you explain what a chiropractic adjustment is and what it
Yes.
does?
Yes.
And explain what that cracking noise is.
Okay. So I wouldn't want to go to a doctor who cracks me either.
No.
I wouldn't want anything cracked. So an adjustment, it's speed. It's not strength. And what it is taking a vertebra or a bone in the spine that's fallen off of its disc and pushing it back up onto the disc. Because when the bone falls down backwards off of the disc, there's 2 little nerves sitting back there, and they get squished. You probably heard of that, pinch nerve.
I was
or-
just going to get into
or-
that.
Yeah. They get squished. And when they get squished, wherever they go, each nerve is like a spider web. It goes so many places. Wherever it goes now is not going to function at 100%. So the job of a chiropractor is to evaluate alignment and push that vertebra back up onto its disc so that the nerve can now have 100% information to the body and your body can begin to heal.
Okay, that sounds simple. So then I
Yeah.
have a question because you mentioned pinched nerves. So now that you
Right.
mentioned it, I'm going for it.
Right.
Is that because it's a common problem?
Right.
I hear that a lot. So if people come for chiropractic adjustments for pinched nerves,
Right.
is it something that they continually maintain? We might have to hold that thought in this question because you have another caller.
Okay.
And we will hold that. So, hello, good evening. Welcome to the Health and Wellness Show. You are live
Hello.
on the air. Who is this?
This is Ed Bland.
Okay, Ed, I just need you to turn off your computer or radio that you might have on at the moment. If you could just turn that
Okay.
down. Perfect.
Is that better?
Much better. Thank you so much for doing that.
Okay.
Thank you so much for calling. And Dr. Carol is with me now.
Hi, Eddie.
How are you doing?
Hello.
I'm assuming by her hello that she knows who you are, Eddie.
Yes, she does. She should.
And how does she know that? Would you like to share?
And she's the only one keeping me alive.
Oh, wow. What's going on? Would you like to share?
Oh, yeah. She's been, I've had issues with my neck, my lower back. I've had fusions on both. And she works on everything in between.
Wow.
And she, unbelievably gets my atlas in place, and it works from my head to my toes, and it frees me up. She's just amazing on what she can do.
Well, that's
And
fantastic.
with all the things I suffered through with cancer, she's helped me all through that. It's just been a wonderful, wonderful experience with her.
And as I've asked our other caller, and I am asking, how did you find out? Because you mentioned that you had cancer, and I'm very sorry to hear that. I really am. And I hope you're on the road to healing. And to ask you, because you're dealing with the medical profession, what made you seek chiropractic?
Well, nothing else was working, and I just got tired of medications, and this just seems to work without any medications. I am literally pain-free. I just got out of open heart surgery 3 weeks ago, Friday, and I had no pain throughout the whole thing.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And I contribute that to her keeping my atlas clear and everything flowing from head to toe, and it just got me in and out of the hospital quick. And it was just an unbelievable experience.
Wow.
Every surgery I've done, I've had her adjust me before and after. And everything works out so good.
Well, that's wonderful.
It's just an unbelievable experience I've had. Even the doctors spin their heads. They don't know what to think.
Right. And I thank
And
you for...
it's all medication free. I don't take any painkillers.
That's wonderful.
You're so awesome, Eddie. Thank you.
That's really sweet. And thank you so much for sharing your
No,
personal...
she's the one that's awesome. She's the one that does it.
Yeah.
Not me. I just lay there and she's just go for the best. And she does it.
Aw, and that's
It's
fantastic.
unreal.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your personal story with all of us and with Dr.
Yes.
Carol and your experience.
Thank you, Eddie.
Aw, she's so humble. She's over here. She actually looks quite shy, Eddie, as I'm looking at her.
Nah, she's awesome. She is really awesome.
Thank you so much, and for taking the time
Okay.
of calling in and just wishing
Alrighty.
Dr. Carol well, and hope that you have a speedy recovery from what you've been through.
Yes, I'm already recovered. As far as I'm concerned, I'm good to go.
Okay, perfect. Well,
I'm back to work, and I'm going like that.
Good for you, Eddie.
All right. Thank you so much, Eddie. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So he mentioned something that I hear too myself in my practice is nothing else was working.
Right.
And I cannot stress enough that preventative is key because
Right.
we don't want to have to fix what's already gone wrong,
That's right.
if you will. And it takes longer to fix it.
Exactly.
And, you know, if anybody, I'm a big component, I have to say, of chiropractic. I'm a big
Yeah.
advocate of it.
Yeah.
It's kept me sane. It's kept me off operating tables
Yeah.
as well. And very much believe in it.
Yeah.
And he basically said it, no meds.
No.
Well, let me jump in there with the no meds thing. Or you're wiggling your finger.
Yes.
I can't see. I can't see that. Okay. No meds. City of Angels.
I'm a Gelman of radio.
Oh, are you? So no meds. Substituting chiropractic, and we're at City of Angels. That's kind of like very cool.
I had
Yes.
open heart surgery. I was not back to work in 2 weeks, I can assure you that.
Yeah. Well, this guy is amazing anyway.
I mean, I wasn't back to work in 4 months later.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go back to work.
Yeah.
He was amazing. You're fantastic.
Yeah.
Just to finish my thought, a lot of people that get addicted is because a doctor hands them here's a month's worth of Percocet, and before
Yes.
you know it, they're
100%.
Yeah.
We work, chiropractic being a holistic profession, releasing the power to heal yourself instead of bringing it outside
Yep.
in. It goes hand in hand with people in recovery.
Yeah, I can see that. I can
Yeah.
really see that.
Yeah, because, they hurt too.
Yes.
And they can't take anything.
Yes.
So when you go to a chiropractor and we take the pressure off the nerve and the nerve can be in a state of ease instead of on edge.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
just alleviates so much.
That light just came on to me
Yeah.
to say, oh my God,
Yeah.
there is a direct correlation between
Absolutely.
you and that. Wow,
Yes.
wow.
Yeah.
And we'll get more into this in a minute, but
Yeah.
we are going to take a commercial break
Okay.
from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Are you constantly living with dysfunction in your life? If so, there's help. Neo Zoe, New Life Through Balanced Living, is a very unique holistic wellness company that's here to help you preserve a healthy balance and eliminate any dysfunction. We use an individual approach through nutrition, massage, and various other holistic practices. You can restore your optimal health and a healthy lifestyle. Visit us on the web at neozoe.com or call us at 732-713-0123.
If addiction, pain disorders, and mental health issues control your life, and you are ready for change, the Recovery Spot offers expert outpatient care for addiction, pain disorders, and mental health issues. We offer focused, high-quality treatment specifically designed for you. The Recovery Spot, we offer new hope for those suffering from pain and addiction. www.recoveryspotny.com. We're located in New York City.
Hi, this is Ryche Chlanda from Flying Dreams, and you're listening to City of Angels Recovery Radio.
Welcome back to the Health and Wellness Show here on COARadio.com. And tonight our very special guest is Dr. Carol from Lifeline Chiropractic in Cranford, New Jersey. And we'd love to have you join the show by calling in. We've had several callers already. So thank you so much, Debbie and Eddie. Hey, that rhymes.
Yeah.
And if you want to call in and be part of the show, it's 609-241-7103. So before we just left for our commercial break, we were talking about no meds. And City of Angels, as you know, is about addictions and recovery. So one thing that I don't hear often at different events, and I'm here for a couple of them, not all of them, in fairness, is chiropractic care. So if somebody, as we said, there's no meds, and you went into that description, how can it help somebody, and especially if they're fearful, because I go into that fear and you're trying to take that out,
Right.
like to walk into your office and say, I'm here. They're usually saying that I'm in recovery right now.
Right.
How can you help me? How would you go about that?
You know what's the most wonderful thing about working with somebody who is an ex-addict or in recovery? They have addictive personalities. And the addiction that they had was so negative for their body. It was killing their body. It was disturbing the flow from the brain to the body, and their innate intelligence. Their soul was just being crushed by whatever negativity they had latched onto. That addictive personality is still there for most people a lot of times, but they have to transfer into something positive so that they can rebuild their body, keep their body healthy and strong, and allow the brain to control the body without any interference. That is what chiropractic does. So this is another example when you asked me earlier in the show how I bring chiropractic home. If you add chiropractic to your life, whether you're an addict or in recovery or not, it just allows you to be more healthy without adding anything to the body or taking anything away. You're just releasing what's already in there, and you're allowing the body to heal itself.
Right.
And so often we're taught, there's a lot of money spent to make us believe we can't be healthy without adding something to the body. But health comes from within.
And that's something that, I think the time has come to change.
Yeah.
Because there really isn't a whole lot for people. I mean, that's something that we're
Right.
looking at is wellness centers. But,
Right.
with oxygen therapy and, listening to you,
Yeah,
I'm thinking maybe
you
some of
gotta
this should be
add this.
incorporated in,
Yeah.
as well as, for them to fitness and that type of a thing. And even if they were in an intensive outpatient program, why wouldn't that outpatient program be willing to pay $40 or $50 a month for them to have a membership to a health and wellness center where they can
Right.
go to afterwards, and also offer counseling services, life services, things that most
Sure.
people don't have those skills, how
Right.
to balance a checkbook, how to fill out a job application, how to,
Right. And also, too, when people are in recovery, I hear a lot about like 12-step programs and things of that nature. And they all serve their purpose,
Right.
and not one thing is for everybody, as you know. And I just feel that if people can reach out, because just what you said, it's not just about putting something in your body, but it is a lifestyle. So it is about food and nutrition and how
Right.
you keep up with your body every day. And I think to give hope to people in recovery would be that with chiropractic, again, when you are going through recovery, sometimes you're going through like withdrawal.
Yeah.
And that could give you like brain fog and feeling like that kind of symptoms. And I've seen people, including myself, that when they have that brain fog feeling, an adjustment actually helps with that significantly.
Absolutely.
Can you explain why that would be? Because I don't understand why it would be just through the adjustment.
Yeah, when you're feeling lightheaded or have that brain fog feeling, there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect between your brain sending the messages down the spinal cord and out to the body through the spinal nerves. And if there's a misalignment in the spinal cord which protects that whole magical system, then it can't communicate with the body, and the body becomes in a state of dis-ease.
Right.
When you get adjusted and we replace the vertebra to its normal position and the pressure comes off of the nerve system and the brain can tell the body what to do without interference, you come into a state of ease. And people that are in recovery, they're coming from a state of extreme dis-ease.
Right.
And this just helps to put their body back to a place of ease and rest, and they can begin to heal. Physical, spiritual, mentally,
Right.
emotionally, always. Wow. We always say in chiropractic that we connect man the physical with man the spiritual.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people have to realize that help is there, you
Yeah.
know. And there are other ways, while they're doing their recovery program, there's other ways to help maybe speed up the process.
Hey, Art,
Absolutely.
Are there, in aftercare, are there chiropractic?
Actually, there really isn't any formal aftercare anywhere. I mean, that's something that's new and upcoming and getting talked about a lot. The YMCA has a program called Strive, that they'll give you a 1-year membership for like
Like a health- like a health
$125
club?
for the whole year.
Like a
it's
health
usually
club.
that a month, But you get used to the whole health facilities. You get counseling on health and nutrition and, you know what I mean, life skills. And,
I know
and that
they
whole
have
thing,
yoga
right?
as well.
We used to do a lot of that too. We're going to get back to that, I think, once we have a formal, recovery center again,
Right.
you know, we can have structured things. Like we used to have people came, I think, every Tuesday and did yoga, you know what I mean, from like 1 to 2 or
Well, at
something.
Sawney's, at
I was
the-
just gonna say-
at the recovery spot, that's why I'm a guitar instructor.
At the
Yeah, no, and music
There,
therapy
and music therapy and
is
all
huge
that.
as well. I mean, there's a lot of different things that are out there. There's no one. You don't have to be 12-step. I mean, there's 12-step. There's music. There's smart
Right.
recovery. There's a bunch of different things. You have to go with what works for that particular person, and you have to explore, you know, who they are and a little bit about them to find out what's the right thing for them.
Exactly. And what our listeners might not know is the recovery spot in New York that Rich is referring to is Physician Owned, and Dr. Ramesh Sawhney and Dr. Scott Bienenfeld. They've both been on the show already. And it's just what Art was explaining. Art took a field trip with us to there as well.
Yeah, we need another one of those.
We do. And what it is it's an outpatient recovery facility, and they have everything under one roof. So they have the musical therapy that Rich is talking about.
Yes.
They have Reiki with yours
Reiki,
truly.
yes.
They also they do a lot of biotherapeutic remedies, you know, for the brain and neurowaves. They have counselors on hand. They've had yoga. They do all kinds of things. And it's almost like East meets West, from journaling to what Art is referring to, whatever helps a person heal.
Right.
Because we obviously got that way somehow. Something just went awry.
Right.
You know, and if we can get to that, you know, peeling away that onion and get to that core of what's going on, you can help somebody
That's how
heal.
this radio station started.
Yes.
We have a baseball team for those that, you know, we had a kid who had full scholarship to Rutgers, you know, and his addiction took him down, and they, you know, pulled his scholarship back. And, you know, he never thought he'd get to play structured sports, you know what I mean, again. And that's what this baseball team does. And what was it, last Saturday? You know, once a year they get to play on the Thunder Field, and, you know, it's a big deal for them.
Well, speaking of that, since you brought up the baseball team, we're going to just take a moment because it's time to mark your calendars. For Friday and Saturday, September 14th and 15th, is the City of Angels Walk with the Angels and the return of Rockfest. And it will be held at Mercer County Park in the West Picnic area in West Windsor, New Jersey. And details can be found at www.rockfestcoa.com. Now, Rockfest is a free, yes, I said a free event to attend, and there's absolutely no admission fee. We have a $5 suggested donation for those interested in assisting City of Angels with continuing its mission of assisting those seeking recovery and educating and offering support to their families. And we thank you in advance for your support. And get this, I'm going to give the details because I'm so excited about it all. Friday, September 14th, it kicks off from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And if you join us as we kick off Rockfest 2018 with a free community picnic honoring all of our dedicated volunteers and community partners and sponsors. There'll be hot dogs. Sorry, Dr. Carol. There's hamburgers. Recovery, great music, a super 50-50, a daily 50-50, bike raffles, kids area, and so much more. So stay tuned as we'll be adding more details as they become available. And there'll also be musical performances on that Friday night by the Jim Del Rey Band and Nikki Breyer. So that's a big event right there on Friday. But it doesn't end there, folks, because on Saturday, September 15th, get this, from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., 8 hours of fun. God, that's going to be fun.
9, actually.
Well, it is. Like, probably for you, it's going to be longer than that. But if you come out,
23 hours
for
for
fun.
me, yeah.
you're going
It's
to
a
continue
marathon.
Rockfest with a great lineup of music. There's going to be a car show by Hot Rods Against Heroin, food trucks, yay, recovery resources, kids area, and continuing along, because I know there's one super 50-50, the daily 50-50, and the bike raffle, and so much more. And there's something for the entire family. So come out, have an entertaining day, bring your blankets and chairs, and enjoy a day of entertainment. And to top it off, I actually have the lineup of the bands.
You do?
I do. So mark your calendars. Are you ready, folks?
She's good.
Get your pens ready. I hope you have them ready. Here it goes. For Saturday, September 15th, kicking it off at 2 p.m. is Jim Gavin. At 3 p.m., we have Patricia and the Saltier Motives Band. And at 4 p.m., we have our very own Ryche Chlanda and Flying Dreams.
Yay.
And 5 p.m. is our headliner, the Wonderful Wine Rooms, featuring Vinny Mad Dog Lopez. And then at 6 p.m., we have AM Mafia. And at 7 p.m., band called Unleashed. And at 8 p.m., Charles Larita and the Mischief. And if that wasn't enough, at 9 p.m., Soraya. So that's
Soraya.
one big band lineup of fun entertainment all day long.
Soraya seemed very happy to be closing the show.
Oh, good.
I'm sure she is.
Yes, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
But there's some more details that I really want to share with our listeners, if
okay.
I may.
No.
It's raising awareness and giving hope, art. And City of Angels, we need your help, okay? We need your help. And City of Angels themselves have been able to help hundreds of addicted community members for over a decade. So like never before, the call for help is at an all-time high. More and more people we know are addicted to opiates and other drugs. City of Angels have trained hundreds of recovery coaches, helping hundreds of people. And Ryche Chlanda and myself are recent graduates of the Recovery Coach program from
You
City
are.
of Angels, so thank you so much. And your donation is needed more than ever, and your sponsorship will be noted throughout the Rockfest event. And there are levels of sponsorships, which I'd like to share at least one time going forward. They have now a platinum sponsor, and the platinum sponsor is the highest sponsor, and it is $10,000. And for that donation, City of Angels will give you the largest signage around the festival at the entrance, at the City of Angels tent, and your sponsorship announced every hour during the festival, and your name on our sponsor board for all sponsors. So that's the big package.
And we'll name the race after you.
Oh, there you go. There's an extra bonus. And then there is a festival sponsor, and that is $5,000 donation. You will receive large signage with your company name at strategic locations through the event, at the City of Angels tent, and our sponsor board, and your name is announced every 3 hours during the festival. Then, for stage sponsor, I like these names. The stage sponsor is a $3,000 donation. You'll have medium signage with your company name on our sponsor board, and at City of Angels tent, and your name announced twice. And the next big one is the recovery sponsor, which is $1,000, and you'll have your signage at our sponsor board. And don't worry, there's something for everybody. You can become an Angel sponsor for $500. And you also could become a cloud sponsor for $250. And if that's not affordable, there's also a living sponsor at $100 and a booster sponsor at $50. So if you're interested in becoming a sponsor, show your support, and become a sponsor for this recovery-based walk, run, and rock fest being presented by City of Angels. We are looking for community partners to sponsor this community-based event and expose themselves to an array of opportunities to introduce or support your current and potential customers. If you are interested in learning more, please email info@cityofangelsnj.org. So that's for sponsors, right?
It is.
And that's great because there's one more thing.
And they also end up on the back of the shirt, the festival shirt as well.
Oh, they do? Oh, that's great.
Wow, so they get to actually be a part of the event in every which way possible.
Yep.
And you get to wear that. I hope you heard that, folks. You get to wear your name on the back of the festival shirts. That's
Yeah.
great. Great advertisement, too, because we're also calling all vendors. You can reserve your space today. And this year's Walk Run with the Angels will be offering vendor space again. Are you ready for this? Vendor space at no charge. When do you ever hear that at a festival?
Never.
Okay. Donations are welcome and sponsorships are available. This is a great way to connect with hundreds of prospective shoppers and clients. If you're interested in attending this year's Walk Run with the Angels or Rockfest as a vendor, you can also contact us at info@cityofangelsnj.org. We are reaching out to local businesses and organizations looking to partner with us in our mission to assist those seeking recovery from addiction. Get this. There are 600 to 800 visitors and participants to this event. So this is a great way to connect with hundreds of prospective shoppers and clients, and even while you wear your fashionable t-shirt. I love it.
Nice.
So again, if you're
Which
interested,
actually you get for free if you register for the. I'm going to do the same shirts for Rockfest and the Run. I'm combining them together.
oh, that's fantastic.
Because our theme this year is rock and roll and recovery.
There you go. And that brings back Rockfest. So again, if you're interested in becoming a sponsor or a vendor, you can send an email to info@cityofangelsnj.org. And yours truly from the Health and Wellness Show will be there. You have Ryche, Chlanda, and Flying Dreams, as we said, will be there.
Yes.
Our Ackerman will probably be running around all crazy, doing his thing, making it all
Actually,
tie
I'll
together.
also be the announcer that day.
See that? And
Very
so-
nice.
Unless I can con some of that off to some other people since that's
Yes.
a really long day. But I have to be right there to keep things moving. So.
Well, that's a wonderful thing. So now we have a caller yet calling in yet again. So this is good. Welcome to the Health and Wellness Show. You are live on the air with Maryann Castello and our whole Health and Wellness team. Who is this?
Hi, my name is Valerie. I'm a patient of Dr. Carol's, and I just wanted to call in and share a little bit of my experience with her.
Yes, Valerie, please do.
So I first found Dr. Carol, I was pregnant with my first child, and I got into a car accident. I was rear-ended. Luckily I didn't, I wasn't extremely hurt, but I was having a lot of pain afterward, and there really wasn't a lot I was willing to do being pregnant. I didn't want to be on medication or do anything that could potentially cause my little girl. So I found Dr. Carol. She had been recommended by some friends, and she started helping me out, and she has been a help to our entire family and extended family and friends ever since. I now have 2 children, and she's been adjusting both of them and since they were a few days old. I previously had never thought I would ever let a baby be adjusted. It scared me, but there is nobody that I would trust more with my children. She's amazing and gentle, and it's nothing like you're thinking. She just kind of holds her hands there, and my kids are extremely healthy. We barely need to go to the doctor. I've had a lot of health problems in my past, and it keeps me feeling very, very good and energetic. And when I feel like something's not quite right and I go in, I always feel better afterward. But they barely get sick. I mean, they've had a cold here and there, but they really, she's kept them very well. So I feel like she's a part of our family, and I just wanted to call in and let everybody know that it's definitely changed our family for the better. So I would highly recommend.
Thank you,
if anybody's
Val.
thinking about it to stop by and check her out. I think you'll have a great experience, and she's worked with my husband, who's very stubborn, my father-in-law, who's also quite stubborn. She definitely is able to help with lots of situations and with lots of people that may be a little apprehensive. So she's pretty amazing.
Well, that is amazing. And I just love that you're getting all
Thank you,
these
Val.
compliments.
Yeah.
And Valerie, I have a question for you. You shared how she's helping your whole family and all. And with your children, what differences do you see in your children that receive chiropractic care in your observations versus maybe their friends who don't receive chiropractic care? Have you made it?
Well, like I said, I mean, my kids have not been on antibiotics. My daughter was on one time for 2 days, and the doctor checked her again, and she was fine. And in between, I was having her checked by Dr. Carol, and there was a time that my daughter, I don't even know what it was, but like her elbow or something came, like it wasn't quite right, because like we probably like grabbed her when she was about to fall, and she was able to fix that. But what I see is I see a lot of people, like their kids are constantly sick, constantly missing school, or constantly on antibiotics for this infection or that infection. And I just feel very fortunate and blessed, because when my kids aren't feeling great, they have a cough or something's not right, I bring them in, and I feel like it just, honestly, I don't really know how it works. I can't explain that part, but I feel like it helps their body figure out what it needs to do to get well. I feel like it's a big part of supporting their immune system or supporting whatever it is that they need. And it can be like other things, like when they were babies and they were teething, I would bring them in, and I felt like that adjustment really helped them. Or, my son was, I guess you could say, colicky. I'm not sure what to call it. But he had like some digestive issues, but he was always so much better after an adjustment. And I just feel like for me, it's such a simple, easy, non-invasive thing to do for my kids that doesn't involve a chemical and doesn't involve anything that's dangerous. And it helps their body figure out how to, get them well and keep them well. So like I said, I don't know how it works.
Yes, you do, honey. You know exactly how it works.
We're like less at the doctor than anybody else I've ever met.
Wow.
I mean, our doctors see us once a year. My kids get a checkup and they never see us again. I sometimes wonder why we have health insurance. I mean, we go to Dr. Carol once a week, but I mean, I feel like if that's our lifestyle, because I'd rather prevent something from happening than play catch up after.
Insurance companies want more patients like you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, Valerie, thank you so much for calling the show and giving your good sentiments about Dr. Carol at Lifeline Chiropractic in Cranford, New Jersey. And thank you just for sharing your experience. We really do appreciate it and being part of the show. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a good evening.
Thanks,
You
Val.
too.
I love that
Thanks.
phone call.
I did too.
I love it because even a situation, a pregnant woman that doesn't want to take drugs
Right.
goes to you.
Right.
That's the deal. So I'm learning today too. There's a lot of information on this show, kids.
But she's so right. Like taking a lot of antibiotics is not healthy for you. I mean, you
Right.
become immune to them.
It's
and
amazing that all
eventually they
the
don't work
pregnant
anymore.
women go
Yeah.
to her, but not the pregnant men.
Yeah. Haven't had one of those yet.
Couldn't help myself, Rich.
Art can edit that right out. Don't worry. Can't you, Art? You can-
No, I'm going to enhance that.
That you're going to have. I'm sure you will. Well, we always do have some fun things, Art, right?
Always.
We have fun things. And
is that my cue?
yes,
Oh.
we promised
Oh, boy.
a sing-along,
Oh, boy.
Dr. Carol.
Gosh.
And even though you're a chiropractor, we don't know if you sing
Oh,
in the
she
shower,
sings pretty good.
but from what we heard was actually really good.
Thank you.
Tom
I don't
could
think
join
so,
in
but
too,
thank
a
you.
little.
But you know what? She's like one of the first guests that like really want to join in. It's great. I love this. So Art, you have your lyrics in front of you, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm singing, sure.
Okay, we're going to like not lip sing, right? And we have Tom over there in the background if you want to join in. We're right here too.
Come on, Tom. Get
Isn't
over.
there a tambourine or
Come
something?
on in.
Come on.
There might be. He could come in
Come on in.
and join us.
Come on down.
Come on down. And then for all of you at home, tonight's featured song is Landslide. I'm sure most of you know it by Fleetwood Mac.
Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks is an old.
Oh, you're doing Stevie Nicks.
I'm doing Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks. I love Stevie Nicks.
Better brush up on your Johnny Cash for next week.
Yeah. Should I
Yeah,
bring
We'll save that. We will save that. Leave it
Should I bring a
alone.
Ring of Fire?
Possibly.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
tonight's song is Landslide. And we would love you to join us at home too. And we hope we don't butcher this like we did last week. Okay, we did a different song. Remember
They're going
that?
to sing along at home?
Rich isn't going to stop playing in the middle.
No, he's not going to this time.
I'm not going to kid around today.
No, he's going to be good.
All right, here we go.
So he says. Here we go.
I took my love.
I took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around. And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down.
Nice.
Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Oh, I don't know. 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Yeah, I'm getting older too. Take my love and take it down. Climb a mountain and turn around. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, the landslide will bring it down. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, oh, well, the landslide will bring it down.
Nice.
The landslide will bring it down. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my world around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Whoa, I'm getting older too.
Wow, that was nice.
That was one of the best.
Thank you so much. Yep.
Thank you, Richie, Dr. Carol, Tom, and our lip singer over there, Art. Woo!
Awesome.
My job is to make you sound good.
You did that, right?
Very nice.
And for those of you at home, I hope you joined
Very
in
nice.
and had a little bit of fun. And Richie, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You know what's amazing, Dr. Carol?
Yes.
He didn't stop halfway through the song and make us sing it a cappella.
Oh, thank goodness.
He's done things like that to us before.
I'm glad he didn't do it today.
Yes,
Just
I
checking
have.
your rhythm.
Yeah, yes, I have. No, I didn't feel the need to have any sort of that kind of stuff going on today,
Nothing.
because this is a great show today.
It is a
It
great
is a good show.
I'm really
Thank you.
I'm really enjoying this. It's very informative. Your vibe is incredible. You could see by the testimonials of the callers, your patients. You're loved and you help so many people, and that's what it's all about.
That is what
I
it's
love
about.
going to work every
Yep.
day. It's
You
just,
could tell.
I have the best people.
And that's good.
In
And
the
we're going to
office.
take a break from the show, a commercial break. Here's the latest message from our sponsors. Are you constantly living with dysfunction in your life? If so, there's help. Neo Zoe, New Life Through Balanced Living, is a very unique holistic wellness company that's here to help you preserve a healthy balance and eliminate any dysfunction. We use an individual approach through nutrition, massage, and various other holistic practices. You can restore your optimal health and a healthy lifestyle. Visit us on the web at neozoe.com or call us at 732-713-0123.
If addiction, pain disorders, and mental health issues control your life, and you are ready for change, the Recovery Spot offers expert outpatient care for addiction, pain disorders, and mental health issues. We offer focused, high-quality treatment specifically designed for you. The Recovery Spot, we offer new hope for those suffering from pain and addiction. www.recoveryspotny.com. We're located in New York City.
Hi, I'm Michael Ciccolini, author, actor, interpretive dancer, owner of a 2005 Buick Skylark, and you're listening to City of Angels Recovery Radio.
Welcome back to the Health and Wellness Show
I love
here.
interpretive dancer. That's
I
my
do. Welcome back
It's great, Michael. Right.
to the Health and Wellness Show on COARadio.com. And if you're just joining us, our special guest this evening is Dr. Carol from Lifeline Chiropractic in Cranford, New Jersey. And we've had several callers already. And if you'd like to call in and join the show, please feel free to do so at 609-241-7103. So, Dr. Carol,
Yes.
I have another question for you.
Okay.
Says that you are Webster certified.
Yes.
What is the Webster technique? What is that?
The Webster technique is a technique that's used on pregnant women who have breech babies.
Okay.
When a woman is pregnant, structure is very important. Pelvic structure is very important. If the alignment is off, it causes the ligaments that hold the uterus in place to become tense or have a dystocia, a misalignment, a wrong shape, and that causes the baby to be unable to get into proper position. It makes it much more difficult.
Okay.
So Webster certification, when I was in school, actually my instructor was Larry Webster, and he came up with this series of just pressure in the right places and certain adjustments in combination that release all of that and allow the uterus to go into a state of ease and the structure to align better, and then the baby just has no problem getting down into position.
Getting down. And does that take several visits for something like that? Because that sounds very complicated.
It can
so-
be, it's so different. Every woman is different, but I've had women I adjusted and they went to the front counter and the baby turned.
Oh, wow.
At the front counter.
That's
And then I've had other women, we've worked with them, maybe 2, 3, 4 adjustments, and they're like, I don't know, I felt a little something last night, and then they go and get checked and the baby's head down. So it's just separate and individual to each pregnancy.
Each pregnancy.
But for the most part, it's amazing.
So there is an
Yeah.
option for pregnant moms.
Amazing's the operative word tonight.
Yes.
Your patients have said it. I'm saying it all night because it is.
Chiropractic is amazing.
Yes, it
I don't
is.
know how people live without chiropractic. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
I know. I don't either. I don't either.
Yeah.
Because
No, and
you need it. I mean, yeah,
absolutely.
I'm a musician. I travel a lot and stuff. You have to be adjusted. If you're not adjusted, nothing's fun.
No, it's not. Yeah.
No, and it does alleviate things very quickly. I mean,
does.
some things I know it could take a couple of repeats because the body has muscles and everything
Yeah.
have memory. So,
Yeah.
if it's didn't happen overnight, it might not be able to get fixed overnight, but it doesn't
Right.
mean it's a long, drawn out process
Right.
either,
It may take a while for you to get the result you're looking for, but on the inside, every adjustment that a chiropractor makes helps your body move forward. You're moving towards health instead of away from health.
I had a rib head out once.
Oh.
And I'm a singer.
Right.
Forget it.
You can't sing.
But-
it's very difficult to even breathe.
But
I had that.
chiropractic
Yeah.
puts it in, and you're.
Yeah.
It's instant relief, by the way, with the rib head, because
Yes.
I remember I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm in pretty good shape, right? And
Yeah.
I was walking upstairs, I'm like, I am just breathless, right?
It's like a knife.
And I thought I was imagining it.
Yeah.
I'm like, am I just tired? Because, I tend to have a lot of sleepless nights, So
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
maybe that's it. Then I was like walking to my car from my office, and I'm like, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, it turned out a rib head was out. And I have to say, it was instantaneous.
Yes.
It was instant relief that I got up. I'm like, I'm not imagining
Yes.
this. I feel great,
Yeah.
Well, this show will bring awareness to people that have issues that way and say, well, I don't know what to do. And maybe they're numbing it with a Percocet or something, and
Yeah.
it's not getting better. It's there the same day. I mean,
Right.
the next day it's still there. You know,
Right.
so hopefully we bring awareness to some folks to
Right.
to call you.
Yeah.
Did you get her?
Yes, I'm getting there.
Okay,
See,
sorry.
he wants to be the host. You want to be the host?
No. I'm just fine here with the guitar.
Okay. So for people that are listening to the show and are hearing all the good things that you have to say and how it can help also with the addiction and recovery, let alone anything else that you might have,
Right.
how can one find you?
You can call our office. We're at 908-653-1440. We're in Cranford, in the center of town, at 116 Milne Street. You can email us, drcarol817@gmail.com. You can check out our website, Lifeline Chiropractic at Verizon.net.
Okay. So there's a lot of ways to get a hold of
Yeah.
you. There is. And I think it's important. And again, your phone number was 908-653-1440.
Correct.
Yeah. So if they didn't have a pen, they have a pen now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was excited to find out where the whole thing is. I'm sure listeners are also excited.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
know?
Yeah, we're right in the center of town.
Oh, great.
So I know that you have other things, and I read that you're a member of the Gonstead Clinical Study Society.
Mm-hmm.
What society is that? What is I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's specific to chiropractic.
Okay.
There's so many ways to adjust the spine. You learn about 15 of them when you're in school, different techniques. And the one that I settled on earlier, I talked about my chiropractor, who is just a regular great chiropractor, getting me about 85% of the way back to normal. When I found Gonstead Chiropractic, which is just a very specific way to move the bone, it took me all the way home. So I'm a member of the Gonstead team. We're very few and far between because it's kind of hard to learn.
Right.
But it is a very specific technique to the disc.
Oh,
So
okay.
anyone who's got disc herniations or disc bulges, Gonstead really does amazing work with that.
Well, because a lot of times people hear that, just what you said, the bulging discs and, all,
Right.
and feel that the only option is surgery.
Right.
But that's not the
No,
case, is what you're
no,
saying.
No. Chiropractic first, drugs second, surgery last,
Right.
always. Don't ever go for an operation or a surgical unless you've done everything. And people sometimes will say, I did try everything. Did you try chiropractic? No. Well, then you didn't try everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that's what we do every day. Pinch nerves, discs, that's what we do. In order for us to make our adjustment, which is pushing the bone back up into place to alleviate nerve pressure and allow the body to be normal again, we have to put the bone back up on the disc.
Right.
So that's what we do every day is we work with discs and pinch nerves. But really what a chiropractor does is just release your ability to adapt to your environment and heal naturally
Right.
and be better.
Well, because if all your nerves are flowing to all your organs, because they're all connected through the
That's
spine,
it.
then that's how you can gain
That's
health.
it. That's how it
Absolutely.
works.
That's where you get into your chakras, right? It's actually.
Yeah.
We'll talk about chakras later, but
Hey, Art, have you ever been to a chiropractor?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you did. I was expecting a
you're very
no.
quiet in your
I
corner
was
over there.
expecting a no.
I had 3 days at Atlantic City. I'm a little tired.
He needs an adjustment.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, I definitely need an adjustment. I do.
When was the last time you went to a chiropractor?
It was probably about 6 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you're
no.
overdue.
I am overdue.
Yeah.
Hey, we have a caller calling in. Good evening. Welcome to the Health and Wellness Show on COARadio.com. You are live on the air. Who is this?
Hi, this is Tina. I'm one of Dr. Carol's patients.
Hi, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. I'm joining late, but you guys were just on the topic of making sure you try everything,
Yes.
Yep.
and that's how I met Dr. Carol. Is I think my daughter was 6 months at the time, and the doctor wanted her to get tubes in her ears because she was suffering from ear infections. I would say every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, she was on and off with antibiotics.
Yeah.
And I wasn't comfortable with the ears and the tubes, with the operation and everything with the little baby. So I researched and stumbled upon Dr. Carol, and it was amazing. The moment that Dr. Carol touched my daughter was the last time that she ever had an ear infection. So it truly does work. And, after suffering from ear infections all the time, from going from every 2-3 weeks to nothing at all, it's purely amazing.
Well, it absolutely is. And can you explain, Dr. Carol, what Tina's saying about children with the ear tubes and...
Yeah, so when children are born, most often they're assisted out of the birth canal. And what that means is whoever is delivering will grab the baby's head and turn to free the shoulder, which you really don't have to do. I had all of mine at home, as I said earlier, and all you have to do is be patient because the baby will turn itself. It knows what it's doing. And you don't have to put birth on a time clock. If you're just patient, it will happen. So when the baby is pulled out of the birth canal and turned, most often the top two bones in the spine, the atlas and the axis, they get shifted out of place. And those top two bones are for digestion, inner ear, and lungs. So if you think about a child in their first year of life, most kids have had an ear infection, colic, or asthma. And those are the big reasons that kids come to see chiropractors if their mommies weren't already in the practice and just smart enough to know they need to be adjusted before any of that happens. So what I did for Juliana was checked her up top, and she did have the top bone in the spine shifted off to the right, I think. And we just, it's fingertip pressure. It's just putting pressure in the right line of drive, and you take the pressure off the nerve, and
Healing happens.
there you go. Let the healing begin.
Wow. Well,
Yep, and that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
wow. That's even another wow.
Yeah.
Well, Tina, thank you so much for calling into the Health and Wellness Show and sharing your experience with your child. And Dr. Carol, thank you for explaining that for
Yeah.
us.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
bye.
All right,
Bye,
bye-bye.
Dr. Carol and Tom.
Bye, honey.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So again, I'm learning a lot. So chiropractic can do that stuff too.
Yes.
Basically, it's amazing.
Chiropractic is just so simple. All we do is take the pressure off the nerve system, which
Yes.
runs your body, and your body takes it from there. We don't fix anything. We don't heal anything. Things get better because of what we do. And all we do is release your power.
Yeah.
We're just vehicles. That's it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So guess what? Well, all the power has been released. Got to mark your calendars. Get that pen out again. Okay? Because this time it's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, October 5th through the 7th. There is going to be Progstock. You ask, what is Progstock? It is North America's newest international progressive rock festival at the Union County Performing Arts Center in Rahway, New Jersey. Tickets are on sale now. You can go to www.progstock.com and click on the Tickets and Donations tab. Now, this time I have a list of the featured bands for Progstock. We have our very own Ryche, Chlanda, and Flying Dreams.
Yay!
Thank you very much.
Yes, again.
Thank you very much.
We also have Enchant, Mystery, IQ, Jobson Plays UK, Michael Sadler, In Continuum, Tom Brislin and Friends, Iaizzi, Accordo de Contrary, Evership, Orpheus 9, Joe Dennison and Stratusfurious, Fernando Perdomo, and Out to the Sea Band. And not only that, they have Progressive Coffee Houses, which is going to feature Rachel Flowers, Steve Unruh, Dark Beauty, and Robert Schindler, also known as Robe One. And right now, here's the thing. You could get the tickets directly from the Union County Performing Arts Center online box office. And you can buy a 3-day festival pass for $195 each for the mezzanine seats, or $165 each for the orchestra seats, were $195. Sorry, the mezzanine was $165. And you can enjoy Progstock 2018 for all 3 days from one of the best seats in the house. It's the best seat in the house because you get to pick it when you order your ticket. So understand, choose your favorite seat with an amazing theater at an unbelievably low price. And if you act fast, because these 3-day passes will only be available until September 11th. And what I love about Progstock, it's going to be just like the Rockfest, that everyone who attends Progstock is a VIP. So everyone will enjoy great shows, be able to meet and greet the artist, and mingle with the artists and fellow fans. So just buy a festival ticket for any seat in the theater, and you are all set. And you'll be a part of that, Richie.
I will.
And you'll be there for all 3 days.
A lot of bands are going to be there for all 3 days. This way we'll kind of crash other artists and jam. And, it's going to be a great 3 days. And it's the only festival of its kind in America.
Yes.
You find those kind of things in Europe and not in America. So you have these dedicated bunch of people putting together festivals with great bands, great music, and let's give it a go. Art, you going to come to that or what?
I'm planning on it.
Okay.
Plan on that.
And actually, I believe they're coming to Rockfest.
They're gonna
Well,
come.
I'm going to talk about that
They're
now,
gonna
that
come.
you can get your tickets again at the website www.progstock.com and click on the Tickets and Donations tab. And yes, you are correct, Art. They are going to be at Rockfest, and you could purchase 1-day passes for Progstock at Rockfest. They will be there to help assist you to do that. And you can become part of this 3-day festival. Again, just make sure you log in because seats are going fast as the bands are being announced at this time. And again, it is at the Union County Performing Arts Center in Rahway, New Jersey.
Which is a great room. It's a beautiful room. So it's a
Yeah.
it's a real place. Have you seen that place?
I have not.
It's beautiful.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a 1,000-seat theater, I believe it is. And again, get your tickets at www.progstock.com. So just wanted to make that little bit of announcement because they're going to also be at Rockfest.
They are.
And I think that'll be great. So
It's a lot of festivals this between Rockfest and Progstock. I mean, Rockfest is like an old-fashioned festival too, with all the bands, right? For 2 days.
I've been hounded for the past 5 years about bringing Rockfest back.
So you don't see that every day. What people have to realize for your event and for Progstock is, if you're music lovers and you like that festival feel, you can't get that. You can't get that any place. So because Woodstock is over.
And we're offering it to you for free.
Yeah. So that's
Yep.
crazy.
that's amazing. It's really amazing. It truly is. So I have one more question for you. I need to know.
Okay.
You speak at a philosophy group.
Yes, I do.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, I speak at a philosophy group in here in New Jersey. We've moved our home back down to the shore. We're at the Ocean Place Conference Center coming up in October, and the group is called New Beginnings. And every profession has their leaders, and the group of people that speak and run this seminar or this weekend, they are the most amazing, philosophical, hands-on chiropractic lovers of humanity that you will ever meet, and they're just amazing. And they meet through 2 or 3 times a year, and every now and then I get to speak with them, and that's always so exciting. And it's just a wonderful time. It's how we get together and fellowship and remind ourselves why we do what we do, because it's so easy to forget when you're day to day doing the same thing over and over again. Although what we do is it's the same thing over and over, but every patient is so different. Every case is so different.
It has to be rewarding,
it's
too.
It's so interesting, and it's amazing when you see somebody come in and within a few weeks, a few months, they're just totally transformed. They're a different person. They're just alive and living life a different way.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And so if people want to get in touch with you, what is your contact information? How can they reach you?
Reach me at my office. I'm at 116 Milne Street in Cranford, New Jersey. My phone number is 908-653-1440, or you can email me, drcarol817@gmail.com.
That's wonderful. Well, I do say that, I thank you so much for coming on to the show and just speaking about chiropractic, making it easier for those of us who didn't know what it was.
Right.
And you've had some great testimonials that have called in for you tonight and great support. So
Thank you.
that says a lot about you, because it's not every day that you get callers like that.
And you
Yeah,
can hear
thank
in
you.
their voices the thanks for you. And,
Yeah.
and so that's just a beautiful thing.
They're so amazing, the people that I get to work with every day. It's just unbelievable.
It is. It
Yeah.
absolutely is. And,
Yeah.
I commend you for what you're doing, for
Thank you.
everybody and
Thank you.
teaching another path,
Yeah.
And like I said, sometimes not one shoe fits all, and everybody
Right.
has to exhaust all measures before they go to extremes. I
Right,
agree
right.
with you there.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Dr. Carol.
Thank you for
from
having me.
Lifeline Chiropractic in
Yes.
Cranford, New
Thank
Jersey.
you.
And I'd like to say that we have a special announcement.
We do.
Yes, we do. We have a special night for the Health and Wellness Show, and it will be coming back to you live again next Wednesday, August 22nd, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we have 2 very, very special guests lined up. We have Tony Luke Jr. He is an actor, a musician, an entertainer, and he is the owner of the Tony Luke's The Real Taste of South Philly international sandwich destination, because he's now internationally known as well. And he's most of all the founder of #Brown and White. It's an initiative to end stigma of heroin addiction. So you'll hear his personal story, and also to know that he will be at Rockfest as well. And I'll continue with this announcement because we have another caller. Welcome to the Health and Wellness Show. You are live on the air. Who is this?
Maxine from Edison, New Jersey.
Hi, Maxine. Welcome to the Health and
Hi.
Wellness Show. How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
Good. Do you have a question for Dr. Carol?
Oh, no, just a comment. I've been seeing Dr. Carol for over 10 years now, and I have 2 boys, and My two boys go see her. She's their primary care physician, to be honest. And I just called in just to say how great she is. She really saved my life.
Thank you, Maxine.
That's really sweet.
Absolutely.
She's got a big
Yeah.
fan club. So, well, thank you so
I
much.
just wanted to call in and say hi. And I was listening to a little bit of the show, so I just wanted to make sure that I was able to call in.
Thank you, honey. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I really
All right.
appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much for being part of the Health and
Absolutely.
Wellness
Have
Show.
a great night.
You
Okay,
too.
bye-bye.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. That's so sweet. They won't stop calling. This is great.
It is great.
But I am going to get back to our show next Wednesday night, August 22nd, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Tony Luke Jr. He will be explaining his hashtag Brown and White initiative. And again, that's to end the stigma of heroin addiction and also to talk about, because he will be at Rockfest, so we'll be able to meet and greet Tony Luke as well. And joining him on that show is, lo and behold, Vinny Mad Dog Lopez. He is one of the original creators of the sound of Asbury Park. And Vinny Mad Dog Lopez was the original drummer for Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band. His unique style on albums such as Greetings from Asbury Park and The Wild, The Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle have influenced generations of musicians around the world. And as stated by Bruce Springsteen at the 2014 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction of the E Street Band, in the beginning, there was Mad Dog Vinny Lopez. So he will be also live sharing some stories, and I know he's, affiliated with City of Angels as well.
He has confirmed today that he will be here.
Yay, we got the confirmation, because I was putting that out on the air right now. But also,
That's great.
And we'll have our very own musical director, Ryche Chlanda, here being part of all of this.
Yay.
Wow.
And all three of you,
Y'all might want to come back next Wednesday.
all three of you, Tony Luke Jr.,
Yes.
Vinny Mad Dog Lopez,
Tony, Vinny, and Richie.
and Richie. What a group, right? Hey, yo.
Vinny.
Yo, Vinny, yo. It's not my cousin either. But just to go on and talk about Rockfest, make some special announcements
And I'll
about
have a guitar
Rockfest.
with me that day, and every time I play and sing, Vinny's behind me singing.
When I call
Some kind of
Vinny,
harmony.
I have to just call to remind him about next Wednesday night. I'm going to remind him that he should probably bring his snare drum with him.
Bring a snare drum.
He should bring a snare drum. Absolutely, because
What?
we could have a great sing-along again. Welcome back.
I went to see them what was it, 2 weeks ago?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, they were fantastic.
I
That's
bet.
why I said, man, be tuned in because they did a lot of Johnny Cash, and it was
Oh,
awesome.
okay.
Well, that's fantastic.
okay.
And then our own engineer Art will also be here. So
I will.
we're going to have a lot of fun, a lot of love, a special night for our special guest next Wednesday, August 22nd. Showtime starts at 8 p.m. to 9:30 with Tony Luke Jr., Vinny Mad Dog Lopez, Ryche Chlanda, and we'll have engineer Art. So I need to close the show and thank you, Dr. Carol from Lifeline Chiropractic in Cranford, New Jersey, for coming
you so
on to the
much.
show. Rich, thank you so much
You're very
for
welcome.
everything and all of your musical abilities and guiding us. Thank you so much. And to Art Ackerman, our engineer, thank you for everything that you do
Thank
for
you.
our
It was a
show.
great show today.
And to all our fans out there, thank you for watching. Until next time, be well. From every one of us at City of Angels, good night.